All right, there's three dudes just with surly faces, and then one dude with an Eagles hat on, bob in his head. This is the Fans First Football Show. My name is Brian Anthony Davis. I am here from the Steel Curtain Network and the Las Vegas Raiders Insider podcast as well. And I am joined by my friends, Nick Hogan from Foxborough Frenzy. What's up, Nick?
Oh, not too much. Just, dreading the Super Bowl already. We got 2 weeks of misery to go.
Jess Place. What is up, my friend? Jess Place from Mile High Broncos.
Oh, man, get ready for 2 weeks straight of what is Tay-Tay going to wear to this Super Bowl. Buckle up. It's going to be amazing.
Well, I'm more interested in what she's wearing than Kendrick Lamar. But let's go ahead on to the smiling, the man of the hour. He shows up when the Eagles go to the Super Bowl. His name is Aiden Reed. He is, man, that is the biggest smile I have ever seen. This guy, he just got off the greased pole. He went to the game today, so I can't wait to talk to him. Aiden Reed, congratulations for your birds, my friend.
Thank you. There was a relaxing game. The link was awesome. It was rocking. So got to send some Commanders fans back down 95.
All right. So first, some programming notes. The Q&A here on the Steel Curtain Network will be back next week on Sunday nights. It's rightful home. We are broadcasting live right now on the Steel Curtain Network and on Mile High Broncos as well. And as soon as we get Foxborough Frenzy and Broad Street LinkedIn to give me their links so we can broadcast live with those guys, we will do that as well. But it is so great to be here tonight. So thank you so much for joining us live after this game. I got to start off with this. I don't think that this was a surprise to any. Now, some people had stars in their eyes or thinking the Commanders can go ahead and win, and they were looking good for a little bit in this game. But the cream of the crop, the Eagles, they came out and they played, and they dominated. Then we have the second game, the Bills and the Chiefs. This was a different game because the Chiefs were the Chiefs. I'm gonna take Reed's. I think this is Reed's line. The Chiefs did Chiefs things. Mahomes did Mahomes things, and they won the game. And I don't think the officiating was the issue. I think the issue was the Buffalo Bills just completely weren't ready for prime time. As Hogan would say, they threw up in the moment. Hogan, I'm going to start with you on this game.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head. They threw up all over themselves. I mean, it was just they came out swinging the multiple fourth down attempts. They tried, obviously, but at the end of the day, it wasn't enough for them. And it was a nice story all season long, but at the end, when they needed to show up, they just didn't. That's the sad part about it.
Absolutely true. Let's look at the tail of the tape of this game. Do you have stats for us, Hogan?
I most certainly do here, and I will go over them right now. Jaden Daniels, usually the cream of the crop all season long, looking like he was just firing the ball everywhere, running all over the place. He tried his best today. 255 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked 3 times. That's, obviously not going to help anything out there. But on the ground, 6 carries, 48 yards, and a touchdown. Not a bad day on the ground, actually. Through the air, his favorite target, per usual, Zach Ertz, 11 catches, 104 yards. And then Scary Terry over there, 3 catches, 51 yards, that long one of 36 for the 1 touchdown. That actually kind of cut into the deficit a little bit, where you had a thought that maybe Washington was going to do some things at that point. But unfortunately, the Eagles said no sirree. And the stat sheet for the Eagles is absolutely mind-boggling. Reed, I know you're all smiles over there because – heck, I could have scored a touchdown running on the ground for the Eagles the way that they ran the ball today. But I'll go over it for you because I know you're going to love it. Jalen Hurts tossing around. Passing-wise, Jalen Hurts arguably had one of his better games of his career. 20 for 28, 246 yards and 1 touchdown. No interceptions. On the ground, 10 carries, 16 yards. Not 1, not 2, 3 touchdowns. And you know who else had 3 touchdowns? Oh, yeah, a guy named Saquon Barkley, who – the New York Giants just, he's not that good. We don't need him. He's no big deal, right? Well, Philly just, threw up on the Giants, and just the fact that they did that themselves. 15 carries, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, the guy didn't even have to play through the fourth quarter. They gave the ball to Will Shipley, the rookie, first time pretty much touching the ball all season, 4 carries, 77 yards and a touchdown. Like I said, if you wore Eagles green today, you pretty much scored a touchdown. Final score 55-23. Reed, I was going to say, just go at it, buddy. I know you're ready to go all out talking about this game.
Oh, no. I'm the host. He doesn't get to talk yet.
He's ready to jump out of his chair the way.
Oh, yeah. No,
Hold on, we got to hear what the Broncos fan has to say first.
Yes. I mean, everybody knows when you talk NFC East football, you want to hear from the Broncos guy.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you think of this game? Because I can't wait, but BSL Reed is going to have he's going to have a platform. We're going to let him go, but I want to go to you first, Jess.
I was not surprised that the Eagles pulled this out. I thought that the Commanders had overperformed all year. They have a great young rookie quarterback, and as I said last week, this is going to be an interesting 15 plus years, because I think the Commanders with their new ownership and their stud rookie at quarterback, they're not going anywhere. But today was all about the Eagles, and so I want to hear what Reed has to say. He was there.
All right. Before I let him speak, Afton Ford asked, does this mean Saquon is MVP? He cannot be MVP based on these playoff games, because that voting is regular season only, and that voting has already taken place. I don't think he's going to win the MVP. He will be offensive player of the year or whatever they want to call it, but it's just a fantastic year from Saquon. It doesn't matter. Saquon cares more about a Lombardi trophy. And BSL Reed, you tell us all about it, my friend. I'm going to let you talk.
I mean, this game was just I always talk about with my dad about how stressful all these games are, and this was a stress-free one. I mean, when Jake Elliott missed that field goal and the Commanders marched down the field 14-12, he got a little bit nervous, but then we go on to score 14 unanswered. They get a field goal, and the rest is history. 7 rushing touchdowns is unreal. It ties the NFL postseason record. You have to go back to the Bears in 1940 to see 7 rushing touchdowns in a playoff game. And I hope there's some Cowboys fans listening, because our 7 rushing touchdowns today was more than they had all season. They had 6 rushing touchdowns on the year. But Saquon, I mean, just – like you said, Brian, doing Saquon things, 7.86 yards per carry, just unbelievable. Didn't even rely on him too much in this game. And I know he had the 3 touchdowns, and people are giving him his praise, as they should. Tom Brady's LFG player of the game was Saquon, but for me, the biggest takeaway from this game is Hurts. Jalen Hurts had a phenomenal game. He's shutting all the haters up. I touched on it last week, too, at the Broad Street LinkedIn podcast. Everyone was giving him smack for throwing 126 yards. There was a bunch of drops. It was pouring snow. And he's finally, I think, getting some respect that he deserves. And, it was awesome in the post game when, they put up the NFC Championship, everything. And Nick Sirianni goes up there and he's just, how about our quarterback? And just giving him his flowers, which I love to see. He's the most overhated player in this league, in my opinion. And A.J. Brown, just so happy to see him popping off again. 6 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. But really interesting schematically was you saw a lot of plays that we've never run this year running the football. Saquon only had 15 touches, which is very low for his season average. And you saw end arounds to Goddard, touch passes to Smitty. So it was really interesting to see how Kellen Moore incorporated other players in the rushing game. But yeah, I mean, I'm on cloud 9. This was phenomenal. Zach Bond and Oren Burks, the linebacker duo, both had a forced fumble. The defense has been playing, unbelievable. Zach Ertz was the only one who did anything. He had 104 yards. Reed Blankenship looked a little slow, but Quinion Mitchell shut down Scary Terry. He had that one catch for the touchdown, but defense continues to be unbelievable. Shout out Quinion Mitchell for his 2nd career interception here, and both were in the postseason. I could talk forever, so I want to let someone else hop in before I just keep going.
Well, I am going to jump in, and congratulations to your team. They were dominant. They looked really good. And I think one of the most interesting things for me in this game was you had guys that were completely injured, especially both centers. were really injured in this game, and they kept it going, and they were still able to run wild. And we know Hurts, he took the brace off in pregame, and that knee is not completely right, and he still did the things that he's supposed to do. So hats off to that team. A couple other things that I want to say. Shame on you, Eagles fans. I will say this, because if you were given, Nick's giving me that look. You know exactly what I'm talking about, because we talked about it last week on the show. If you're giving Hurts problems on Broad Street LinkedIn last week and complaining about his stat line last week, we talked about it. Everything that he needed to do in that game, he did. So, lay off him. But then again, I could pull up the audio from this show in, I think it would be week 4, when everybody wanted Nick Sirianni fired. So with
Hand
that,
I was wrong. Hand up.
So you're keeping Nick Sirianni now?
Yes. I mean, I think it's fair for me to be a week-to-week guy, but in the beginning of the season, 2-2. I should have given him a little more time, but hand up, I was 100% wrong. I wanted him gone. I wanted him gone all off season, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy he proved me wrong. I'm very happy. He shut me up, my dumb head up, and hey, he took the team to the Super Bowl. He's got the guys playing hard. And shout out Nick for proving me wrong.
What's going to happen next week on the show when they don't have a game and so the Eagles don't have a win? Is Reed going to call for his head? Is my question.
I gave him his flowers as the season went on, but I definitely wanted him out badly after week 4 for sure.
I tell you what, a wonderful game. It was really fun to watch this game, and I can't wait to see what they do in the Super Bowl. This is wow, this is going to be fantastic. Now, I cannot remember who is the home team in this game. Is it the AFC or NFC? And for some reason, I think it's the AFC.
I thought it was the NFC, but I can look it up real quick.
You know what? It is the NFC. So they're going to be wearing the same uniforms, I guess, that they did in the last Super Bowl that these two teams played.
Yep.
All right. So that's good to know. This is going to be really interesting. We're going to have to watch these injuries. We will see what's happening, but congratulations, Philly fans. You are there. You are NFC champions, and you are taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And we are going to be talking about the Kansas City Chiefs and their victory over the Buffalo Bills. But first, I think we should go ahead and take a break, because I think we got to try to find a way to get Reed off of Cloud 9, and I don't think that's going to happen. So we're going to stick around. We'll be right back after this. Please stick with us. It is the Fans First Football Show on the Fans First Sports Network, on Mile High Broncos, and on the Steel Curtain Network Live. We are back here. It is the Fans First Football Show on the Fans First Football affiliate here on the Fans First Sports Network. It's also live on Mile High Broncos and on the Steel Curtain Network as well. Thanks for everybody joining us tonight. It is it's over. The AFC NFC Championship games, all the talk, and now we're going to talk about who is going to be in this game. We're going to talk about all of the shenanigans the next couple weeks. Now, next week on the show, I am going to have a list of my don't be that guy. And it's how to act at it's almost Super Bowl etiquette, how to act at your Super Bowl party. Because there's certain things there's that certain person that I run away from at the Super Bowl party. So I'm going to make sure that we have that on next week's show. Be ready for that. That'll be a lot of fun. If you're a fan of the Steel Curtain Network, you have seen this in print over the years. We adapt it each and every year. So let's get back to it. It is the Kansas City Chiefs in the late game. This was the year that the Kansas City Chiefs were supposed to step aside, but the Chiefs had other plans, and the referees were not involved in this game that much. Would you agree, Hogan?
Yeah, you're putting me in a tight spot there, because as much as I'd like to agree with you, there were two very, very controversial calls that a lot of people are talking about. And the first one that I'll touch on quickly before getting to stats and everything is obviously the non-interception reception for I think it was Elam came down with it. The receiver took it away. They reviewed it, said it was good. Looked like the ball might have hit the ground. That one, wasn't, I wouldn't call that egregious by any means, but at the same time, it was called a catch on the field. And then the second one being the fourth down play with Josh Allen, where it, man, oh man, I mean, it looked like he got that first down, and they reviewed it again and came back that it was no good. So I mean, you're putting me in a tough spot. I hate the Chiefs, so I'm going to sit there and just tell you, the refs helped them out. But anyway, let's get into the stats of the game, because
before we do that, I'm going to defend my comments there. Okay. I thought I didn't see the ball hit the ground as much as stay on his body, and that was Xavier Worthy's body. So I actually thought that was a good call. I was really 50-50. I thought it was a coin flip on the other play, and I'm a guy who hates the Chiefs. I was rooting for the Bills all the way in this game, but if I'm trying to be Brian objective, and I kind of didn't think that the anything was too egregious, but I could be told different.
Well, again, my reasoning goes back to, unfortunately, the repeated history of the Chiefs, especially this season, more so than any season that I can really recall. I mean, arguably, they've had, honestly, the last Super Bowl against the Eagles, that ending holding call that, sealed the Super Bowl. A lot of people say that was highly questionable. You never want to see a game end like that. And I think we've had so many iterations of this Kansas City Chiefs team essentially getting away with this. It's like that meme from Breaking Bad where Jesse's like, they can't keep getting away with this. And that's what the Chiefs do. They keep getting away with it. And if you're not a Chiefs fan, you hate it. And I'm a Patriots fan, and I know that everybody hated the Patriots because we won, but at least we didn't win like this. That's what drives me nuts. Yeah. Can I go over the stats now? Because I'm just going to blow a gasket if I keep talking about this game.
Yeah, do you want to break and have Jess do the stats?
No, I'm going to be infinitely worse. You don't want me.
No, Jess would just make up stats. Yeah. All right, Hogan, go ahead, buddy.
All right, let's get into what the tale of the tape was here for the two teams. Josh Allen having himself another day that looked like it was going to be enough to get the job done. Unfortunately, it was not enough. But still, stat-wise, he had a pretty decent day. 237 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Rushing-wise, wasn't able to get in the end zone himself. 11 carries for 39 yards. James Cook, on the other hand, 13 carries, 85 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He had himself a nice little day. Mac Hollins, a lot of people learned his name today that they really appreciated him. 3 catches, 73 yards, and a touchdown, including that beautiful, beautiful over-the-shoulder one before the halftime there. And then Curtis Samuel getting the other touchdown for the Bills. On the Chiefs side, Patrick Mahomes, again, kind of a pedestrian day for him again. 18 for 26, 245 yards, and 1 touchdown. Rushing-wise, they were all over the place with who ran the ball today. It was more so the Kareem Hunt show than anything. 17 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown. But Mahomes himself carried it 11 times, 43 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's where he got the job done, is on the ground. And then leading receiver-wise, Xavier Worthy, the rookie there. Loved him in Texas, hate him in Kansas City. 6 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown, including the big catch that we discussed about Elam there with the controversy. Potentially, Travis Kelce being a ghost of himself, nowhere to be seen. Only 2 catches for 19 yards, but those 2 catches were huge towards the end when they needed him. So Chiefs, unfortunately, take care of business yet again, 32-29 over the Buffalo Bills.
All right, Jess, it's your time to shine, which you always do every time you turn that mic on, Jess. But let's talk about this. And I just noticed your shirt. You're wearing a Super Bowl champion shirt for the Broncos.
Oh, am I?
Yes. How about that? Nice.
Vintage now.
Nice. Gosh, yeah, got that out of mothballs. All right. We're objective on this show until we're not, but I know you have a hard time with the Kansas City Chiefs because they're division mates, and it's the same when I'm talking about the Ravens, and I get it. Did you think those two calls were egregious?
I mean, I'm biased, but yeah, like the ball touched the ground. Like any other time you see the ball touch the ground when no one has clear possession, like it's usually a dead ball at that point. But not with the Chiefs, okay? And then when you on fourth down, when you get the ball across and the side judge runs in a yard this side of the line to gain, and then the other guy runs in a foot that side. Split the difference, and it's still a first down. I don't understand how you can't call that a first down when it was. I thought it was clear. I thought he made it. Like you look at that view from above, and he crosses the line again, just like you're supposed to do. But no, the Chiefs needed to get the ball, turn it over on downs. They march down, score a touchdown. The game is in doubt, and then you box in Josh Allen, who is the supposed MVP. I just get upset. I get upset because every year I find myself rooting for the Bills and they never get it done. And so I've become like this de facto Bills fan, and it hurts and it's awful. And no one should have to go through that, especially Bills fans. Like my heart breaks for you guys, but damn it, can't you guys just pull one out of the toilet? Like, please. Like, the whole NFL was counting on you. I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings in New Hampshire, and everyone there was rooting for division rival Buffalo. You let the NFL down. Like, wear that, please. Because, like, we're going to have 2 weeks of Tay-Tay and Kelsey and all that nonsense. Oh, who's designing Tay-Tay's outfit? Like, remember last year? Like, it's just awful. It's going to be awful. And then we have to watch the game, and then poor Reed is going to get screwed in the end, and he's going to be upset, and we're all going to have to, like, get together and pick him up because the referees jobbed America and the Eagles. So there, I could just keep going. Hogan and I need to go get a beer or something because I've had it.
Okay, Jess, I'm very disappointed in you because you held back. How do you really feel? All
right, here come the swears in the copyright infringement. Here we go.
So look, I get everything you're saying, and before we go to Reed on this, I've got to say I thought the Bills blew it. I thought, look, everybody, you read the book on them. Right guard. Every single time, Josh Allen's going right guard. You would have had a 3-point lead at one point if you would have went for the 2-point conversions, not gone for the 2-point conversions. I thought they got cute in this game. When it comes crunch time at the end, their first play, they lose one going to Ty Johnson. Not Cook, Ty Johnson. And they get cute on the whole thing. They almost came down with that pass to Kincaid at the end, which would have been a prayer. But if you ask me, and nobody is, but I'm the host of the show, so I'm going to just throw it out there anyways, this is penance for Bills Mafia being obnoxious over the years and body slamming women through tables that are on fire. So there you go.
They're willing participants. You make it sound like they're just grabbing people off the street.
Yeah, but all right. I don't want to get canceled here, so I'm just going to stop speaking. I mean, I'm sure half of them are 15-year-old runaways that they put a whole bunch of booze into.
Look, someone's got to go through the tables, okay? Like, you got to find someone.
All right, Reed, save us here, buddy.
Yeah,
you know nothing about obnoxious fans in Philadelphia. So
no. What's obnoxious? No way. I wasn't yelling at Commanders fans to enjoy the ride home on 95. No, not at all. No, but it's funny because I'm kind of going to combine all three of your guys' takes. I hear Hogan and Jess, and I agree with them in the fact that those calls were very, very questionable. But I agree with Ryan in the fact that the Bills lost this game. I mean, at the end of the day, you're down 3. You have the ball with 3.5 minutes to go in the MVP of the league's hands, or who's going to win MVP. And you couldn't get it done. It wasn't like an overtime where Allen didn't get to touch the ball. This was an Allen legacy drive. 3.5 minutes, down 3, you have the ball, and I don't know how Kincaid didn't catch that ball. I mean, it was just right there. But yeah, I hear the ref thing, and I agree that those were very questionable calls. But at the end of the day, if you're a Bills fan, you can't be upset at those, in my opinion, because it came down to the ball in your quarterback's hands to go down the field and either tie the game to go into overtime or win it. And he couldn't get it done. And also, Brian, I totally agree with you. I was almost saying it the whole game. I don't understand why Ty Johnson and Ray Davis are even maybe for 1 or 2 plays to give James Cook a breather. It just makes no sense to me. There has been like some trends where James Cook rests at the end of the regular season, so they just feed him in the playoffs. But we didn't see that today, and I don't know why, because he was running all over them. 13 carries for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Should have had 20-plus carries in this game. Just real questionable play calling from Sean McDermott in my eyes.
All right.
Could we just stop saying that the Bills lost? It's more that they let America down.
Okay, they let America down.
They let America down.
But yeah,
especially the Buffalo Wild Wings in Concord, New Hampshire.
But they're true to their legacy because, well, actually, they won all those Super Bowls in the 90s. Oh, sorry. I might have to cut that out because it was 4 straight. Yeah, I'm not a Bills fan either. I mean, I don't think I like anybody in the AFC. I don't think I like anybody in the NFC. I think I only like the Steelers. So I mean, I'm just gonna rip on everything. But this the Steelers didn't lose this week, so that's good news for me. We've had a few comments in the live chat saying NFL is the WWF right now. WWE, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, predetermined. It kind of feels like it. But if you're looking for the sexiest matchup, though, I kind of thought America as a whole would have wanted to see Philadelphia take on Buffalo. But if this is predetermined, then it's just the three-peat thing. So I'm going to start with, this is a very controversial comment. I'm going to start with Reed on this one. And I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask all of you, do you think the NFL is hell-bent on the Chiefs three-peating because we've never had one?
No, I don't think so. As much as I hate the Chiefs and they always win. It's funny. I was asked before the game, who would you rather play? I hate that question, but I'm always going to say whoever's not Patrick Mahomes. At the end of the day, yes, those 2 calls are questionable, but he got the job done when Allen couldn't. And I don't think they're hell-bent on the Chiefs winning. I think Mahomes, Andy Reid, Chris Jones, and Travis Kelce are just that good. And when you have that core 4 like that, they're always going to be in contention. And Mahomes has shown us that he is the new Brady, and the fact that he is the standard in the playoffs. And the bottom for him is the AFC Championship game. And everyone thought when Tyreek Hill left, it was going to be over. And the only Super Bowl winners since him leaving have been the Chiefs. So I just think Mahomes is that good. And I know it might not be a popular opinion, and I hate the guy too. I just think that's the truth.
This just in, Tyreek Hill will be joining the Chiefs in 2 weeks to play.
I would cry.
I think that's going to happen, Jess. I know what your answer is, so I'm just going to skip straight to Hogue. No, go ahead, Jess.
I don't think it's rigged. I think that the favorable calls are just. Are the refs starstruck? Is it there's something about the aura of Mahomes and the Chiefs that just kind of tips the scales? I wouldn't say it's a concerted effort like with Vegas involved and Illuminati and all that sort of thing. Now, I honestly think it's just like this general starstruck bias.
I'm really not asking if it's rigged, Hogan, but what I am asking is the NFL really wants a three-peat, don't they?
They absolutely do. It's the end of the day, it's a money-making business. That's what it is. It's entertainment. It's business. It makes money, and that's what the NFL wants to do. And I apologize to all of Bills Mafia and Buffalo Bills, but they don't sell the tickets that Tay and Kelsey and Mahomes and Andy Reid and all them sell, like when they show up to the Super Bowl, when they show up to these massive games. It's the star power. That's why, again, they want the Chiefs there. At the end of the day, is there an agenda? Is it rigged? I find it really, really hard to believe that that's a factual thing, that it is rigged, that it's we're in the WWE or whatever you want to call it. But it's just really hard to look the other way again when they have the talent that they do and they're as good as they are, and they still get the help that they do to win games that they shouldn't either get the help for, or they don't need the help to win. That's the biggest thing that I think people are tired of seeing. Is we know Mahomes is good. He is the greatest quarterback playing in the NFL right now. We all know that based off of his body of work. He doesn't need an extra 15 yards every time he gets breathed on. He doesn't need another fourth down call to go his way. It's just he's good enough to win those games on his own. If he's not, I mean, then let it be. But I don't know. I'm getting angrier as I talk.
All right. Well, then I'm going to spell you here. We're going to get ready to wrap everything up, but usually we ask for the team of the week. There's no reason to do that because there's two teams of the week. It's Philadelphia, it's Kansas City. Congratulations to both of them. We can ask who your player of the week would be. Everybody would say Barkley except for Reed, who would say Zach Bond, and which he did say in this show. This is 18 consecutive shows that he has said Zach Bond's name. But I like how he tried to throw a bone to, is it Oren Burks?
Oren Burks.
You never said his name before, Reed.
Because he's Nakobe Dean got hurt, so he had to fill in. So he's been doing great. Next man up mentality. You know how it goes. Nakobe Dean was our green dot, and now it's Zach Bond, and Oren Burks is filling in for Nakobe. So, yeah. But
all right. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to go ahead around the room. Reed, we know your answer. Who are you pulling for in this game in 2 weeks from now, Hogan?
Oh, Eagles.
Jess?
As much as makes me want to throw up in my mouth. Eagles all day, baby. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Go Birds.
I root for the one NFC East team that hasn't beaten the Denver Broncos in a Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'll take it, boys. Let's go. Here we go.
All right. So there we go. I will tell you next week who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for Philly. What am I talking about? All right. Hey, thanks so much. That's hard for me. I'm a Pennsylvania kid that would never root for Philly. But with that being said, I do have more friends that are Eagles fans, and the most 99% of Eagle fans I don't love, but there are some here. My buddy Ken, Reed, my girls Devin and Sabrina. I know some Eagles fans. My buddy James. I know some Eagle fans. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump on that bandwagon. I will not wear the green unless Reed wants to buy me a Philadelphia Eagles shirt. What is that, a throwback, Reed?
Oh yeah, this is a sweet throwback. The old NFC, old logo with only 3 stars. They're not 4.
3 stars.
OG.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. KITH. What?
It's that's like some brand that the NFL did a collab with. I hadn't heard of them before, but my cousin got it for me. So
I thought you were asking for a Kith.
Yes.
Mike Tyson.
So next week we will be discussing what not only Tay, who is Taylor Swift, because I have to throw that in. And if anybody wants to know, Scary Terry is Terry McLaurin. And thank you. No mentions of the team, the Commies, this week. I appreciate that as well. Just did it for you last week, Reed, and I nearly fell through my chair again. But with that being said, not only will we be finding out what Taylor Swift is wearing, we're going to be finding out what Reed is going to be wearing for the Super Bowl and what his plans are as well. So please stick with us. We have a lot of fun on this show. We've done it all season long. We are going to continue it. We're going to do some form of it in the off season as well. But 2 weeks until my national holiday, and I would think it's your guys as well. And Reed, I'm jealous of you that your team is in the Super Bowl. So congratulations. let's hope that we don't have to see Kenny Pickett in that game. So for that being said, for Hogan, for Jess, for Reed, my name is Brian Anthony Davis. This has been the Fans First Football Show from the Fans First Sports Network. It was simulcast tonight on Mile High Broncos and the Steel Curtain Network. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in. We had over 1,100 people in the live chat, so thank you very much. We do appreciate that, and we thank you so much. So we are out of here. We will be back next week. Until then, as always, we have 2 words for you. And it's simply this: Go football. What? It's Go football.
Into football.